What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Gamers Goon here. As you can see, we got the scarf back. As you can see with the way you clicked on the video, we're back talking wrestling on the channel. I'm not gonna lie. I've been distancing myself away from wrestling for the most part. But I think it's time for me to make a return to wrestling. Um, I want to, obviously, you click on this for preview and predictions of WrestleMania 40. That's going to happen here today. Um, and I'm not going to lie, I haven't watched much over the last few months since my last video, honestly. I've just been kind of a sporadic watcher here and there. Um, so a lot of these predictions are just going to be gut feelings, and don't take any of it too serious. But we will be doing a review of both night 1 and 2 on the respective nights, and we will also be doing what could end up being a weekly recap. It's not going to happen this week, but in the future, we are going to have weekly weekly update videos on the Raw and SmackDowns, and just what um, what happened throughout the week. And I'm gonna try to make that a weekly occurrence, probably on a Saturday, maybe Sunday, probably a Saturday. Um, but let's get into. You gotta love living in an apartment where there's just people constantly yelling. So annoying. So annoying. Um, but yeah, let's start off with night one. Night one, we got a decent card night one. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I, for the most part, am looking forward to it. Um, it should be a good card. It should be. WrestleMania is set up pretty well. Um, First, I'm just gonna go in the order they listed on Wikipedia. We have Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch in the Women's World Championship match. Um, this one kind of been getting personal. This is one of those ones that I do have a little bit of familiarity with. Rhea Ripley, obviously taking some shots at Becky, her family life, all that. They were on a podcast the other day, or maybe it was last week, and they're trying to build this as Rhea Ripley just being a real heel and just trying to dig deep and get under Becky's skin. Ultimately, here, something tells me that Rhea Ripley is going to win, and I think honestly, a lot of my takes are going to be the heels winning, and that's simply because I think this card just sets up for very well. Rhea Ripley, um, I think she probably wins. I think it's probably one of those matches that it's pretty good, but at the end of it, you're just like, wow, Rhea Ripley really just dominated in this performance, getting her big WrestleMania win. I'm retaining the title, so I do have her retaining the title. Next, we got Gunther versus Sami Zayn, another one I'm fairly interested in. Sami Zayn's kind of been trying to hype himself up. He was working with Gable there for a little bit, trying to get himself ready for the match against Gunther, because obviously Gunther he's a different beast. He's somebody that is really good, really dominant. For the Intercontinental Championship, part of me wants to say Sami Zayn here. Part of me wants to say Sami Zayn. I'm not gonna lie. But ultimately, I think it's got to be Gunther. I think it's got to be Gunther. I don't want to see Gunther lose at WrestleMania. I know that Sami Zayn's build has been pretty good and it's there, but I'm going to ultimately go with Gunther in that one. And now this is one that I have no earthly idea what could happen. We have the six-pack tag team ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. We got the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest going up against DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. The Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth. The New Day, Kofi and Xavier Woods. And Actually, we have two more. A-Town Down Under, Theory and Grayson Waller, and then the New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Um, this one, I'm gonna be honest. I I want to see DIY win this. I really do. DIY, you just think about how great they had a run in NXT, how great DIY once was. I think DIY does. I mean, obviously, they their great run was in NXT. It wasn't in WWE, but they deserve a big moment because for a long period of time they were carrying that NXT division. I mean, you can make a case for I think probably the Miz and R-Truth also, but ultimately I think it's got to be DIY. I think Judgment Day is the first group to drop the titles. Um, and then we get Jimmy versus Jay Uso. Bloodline versus Bloodline. Um, and I'm always going to confuse the two. I believe Jay Uso is the one in the Bloodline. No. Jimmy Uso. Yeah, Jimmy Uso is the one still in the Bloodline. Either way. Either way, Jimmy, Jay, I don't think it matters. Here, it's going to be a good, fun match. Obviously, two very good wrestlers. Very, very good. But I think the Bloodline here on night one is going to have a big night. I really do. Jimmy Uso, he's going to beat Jay Uso here. Then we get Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi going up against Damage Control, Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. This one, pretty straightforward for me. I know that they're trying to build Damage Control up to be this great group. I don't buy it. I think Bianca, Jade, Naomi, I think that's just a much better team. You got the star power of Bianca. Jade, fairly new to the company. She needs a big win. Naomi, one of those women that kind of was the backbone for the women's division there for the last not well for a period of time there. Former women's champion there too in Naomi. So I think there's just too much star power there on the Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi team. I'm gonna go with them. Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee going up against Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom Mysterio. Um, this one, it's interesting. It really is. Um, I don't know what I want to do here. I really don't. Part of me wants to go with Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom, mostly because I think Santos Escobar could benefit from a big Mania moment. But the other part of me kind of wants to go the path of Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Go the nostalgia path. And I mean, for the most part, we have. So let's go over it. We had Rhea a heel, Gunther a heel, Jimmy a heel. You know, we'll go with the faces here. We're gonna go with the Mysterio and Dragon Lee, Latino World Order. We're gonna ride with them in this match. And then finally, the main event, the one that I'm excited for, the reason I'm even tuning in, and I'm kind of the reason why I've started to kind of gravitate back towards watching wrestling is because of this right here. I mean, they were talking about it on Monday Night Raw, selling out buildings now. Well, I believe they're like on 13, 14 shows straight. Ridiculous, ridiculous. And that's because Dwayne The Rock Johnson is back in the bloodline here with Roman Reigns set up for a huge Mania main event in night one. I'm getting chills just speaking about it. I can't wait for Saturday to watch this main event. Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Roman Reigns, the bloodline, going up against Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins in a tag team match. Now, at the surface, it doesn't mean much, but the stipulation here means everything because if Rhodes and Rollins win, all members of the bloodline are going to be banned from ringside for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match on night 2, which means it is going to be a straightforward Cody v. Roman. But if Rock and Reign wins, The championship match on night 2 will be held under Bloodline rules, which means anything the Bloodline wants, they're gonna get. Now, let me give you a little refresher here on Bloodline rules. Can I find it here on the Wikipedia page? It takes me to a Wikipedia page, but it doesn't even give it to me. It doesn't even give it to me. Wow. What a letdown. Well, anyways, Bloodline rules. Just a refresher here on Google, if my Google wants to load, which it doesn't seem to want to, of course. Why would it not want to load? I will look it on my phone then. Bloodline rules. The page is unresponsive on my laptop. That's also great. Basically, it's kind of just anything goes. Anything goes, basically. I don't really know how to explain it. Anything goes, pretty much. That's what it is. Pretty much anything goes. Bloodline rules. But anyways, I don't think it matters here. I expect this. I expect Mania, the main events, to be split. Here, Sportskeeda. For those unaware, foreign objects, including trash cans, kendo sticks, ladders, etc., can be allowed. Basically, kind of like an Extreme Rules match, but Bloodline's rules. But the Bloodline's gonna get involved. That's the problem. Anyways, Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins night 1. I don't know if it might be because I'm wearing the Daniel Bryan AEW shirt. It might be because I'm wearing that. I'm not sure if it's just the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to say, speaking to me for a big Mania moment. Because when you think of big Mania moments, you look at Daniel Bryan 10 years ago, winning 2 times in one night to become the world champion. Now, slightly different here. You get one night of rest if you're Cody. But I think here, going into Sunday night, I think the odds are going to be stacked against Cody Rhodes. I think the Bloodline wins this match, and Bloodline rules is intact for the main event of WrestleMania 40, night 2. Then for night 2, right now we only have 6 matches. We might add a match or 2, I don't know. And if there are matches added, I'm sorry for missing them, but we'll talk about them on the review. But it is what it is. But here we go, night 2. We got Seth freaking Rollins going up against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now this one, I mean, I think Seth comes into this match obviously beaten, bruised, battered, just absolutely destroyed because of the match from the last night. And I do ultimately think Seth Rollins beats Drew McIntyre here, but I do not think Seth Rollins leaves WrestleMania champion because I do think Damian Priest, the Money in the Bank holder, is going to cash in and walk out of WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion. I don't think Damian Priest is cashing in against Roman and Cody. I think it's going to be against Seth and Drew. I think Seth will ultimately beat Drew, but he's going to come out of that match very beaten, very broken, and it's time for Damian Priest to cash in. Then we have the Women's Championship match, Io Sky versus Bayley. This one that I think obviously If it was a couple of years ago, I'd say maybe you go Io Sky. Obviously, she used to be Io Shirai, but I I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Bailey. I'm gonna go with Bailey. We gotta have some how many championships are we gonna have championships? No, I'm gonna stick with Io Sky. I think I'm gonna stick with Io Sky here because on night one we have. Do we have any changes night one? We have DIY winning the championship night one. That's it. You know what? We will give it to Bailey. Bailey is gonna win. I'm picking Bailey. LA Knight versus AJ Styles should be a very good match. Two wrestlers that I think are very talented. LA Knight, obviously, not really new blood, but in terms of WWE career, he's relatively new compared to AJ Styles. But AJ, he's had his Mania moment before. AJ's been there. He's done that. I don't necessarily see AJ needing a victory here. I'm giving it to LA Knight at WrestleMania. We get Logan Paul defending the United States Championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. This is a fun one. I really like Logan Paul in the WWE. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's done a great job. I think he's grown on me. He kind of at first he was kind of one of those guys where I was like, I don't really know if I'm gonna like him being here. Because I was never really a fan of when they would bring in those celebrities. Like I never really was a huge fan of that type of stuff. But Logan Paul, he's won me over in the WWE, and I don't see Logan Paul losing here. I don't know if Randy Orton or Kevin Owens are really set up necessarily for a United States Championship title run. So I'm gonna give it to Logan Paul to retain. So that's also why we're Kevin Bailey win. Then we got the tag team Philadelphia street fight between the Pride, Bobby Lashley, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford, going up against the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akam, and Razor. Akam and Razor, my bad. Got a little choked up there. Ultimately, this match, to me, it seemed pretty straightforward. I'm gonna be honest. I think the Pride should win this one. It shouldn't. I don't really know what justification needs to be done. The Final Testament, I'm not all that. I'm not all that for. I'm not a huge fan for him. I'm not. Yeah, I'd rather see the Pride win that one. Then we get Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Now this one we're going off the stipulation that this is Bloodline rules. We're going off that stipulation, and I'm gonna go off something bold. I don't know if anybody said it, but on Monday Night Raw, we saw Seth Rollins walk down from the state or from the crowd like an old Shield moment. I think both Jey Uso and Seth Rollins get involved in this match, but I think it's in support of Roman Reigns, and then I think we might see somebody maybe like a CM Punk come out and try to even the odds for Cody, and CM Punk gets taken out, and it's just Roman Reigns in there with maybe Seth still standing, and it may be just him and Seth. 2-on-1 type of thing. I expect the odds to be completely against Cody. And out of some miracle, some grace of God, something in this match happens that Cody Rhodes finishes the story. He's going to finish the story. If it's not Cody Rhodes, I don't know who. I know Roman Reigns has said that if he loses to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania after his long run, that he is not going to be in the WWE or he's going to be taking time off or whatever. He's not going to be there anymore. Roman Reigns has earned time off with his title run. He's had a great title run. But somebody at some point's got to end it. I was upset last year that it wasn't Cody because I thought everything added up to Cody being the guy. I don't know if it's the kid in me because I'm a big Cody fan. Y'all know that. I've been supporting Cody for the last however many years. He he helped kind of restart my passion for wrestling in a time that it was kind of dying. Cody Rhodes, big moment, big time match, biggest match of his life. Roman Reigns, odds stacked completely in his favor. I think Cody finishes the story. He's got to. He's got to. And like I said, it could be just the child in me that is just telling me it's got to be Cody. It's got to be Cody. But part of me thinks that I'm a little bit too optimistic that it's Cody. Part of me thinks that that little boy that was crying, upset that his favorite Shawn Michaels got retired by The Undertaker after losing to The Undertaker 2 times, back-to-back WrestleManias. Part of me thinks that that could be what we're seeing here. Is it's just going to be crushing to me, not necessarily me. I don't necessarily get nearly as emotional, but like when I was like, how many years ago was that? Speak about 10 years ago with Daniel. That one was what 15 years ago or 14 years ago. I was like 7 or 8 years old. It's the first WrestleMania I ever watched. First WrestleMania I ever watched. My favorite got retired. I mean, obviously Cody's career isn't on the line, but this has the potential here to just be you try so hard but you can't succeed. You can't beat Roman Reigns. You can't get the job done. You just gotta tip your cap and say, oh well. But if it's not Cody Rhodes, then who is it? Who is it? Is it CM Punk? I don't think so. I don't think I would necessarily get behind a CM Punk babyface run into a Roman Reigns. Now, I'm not saying necessarily I would be. I mean, I'm not saying that he has to be heel, but I think the person that needs to beat Roman Reigns needs to be that big babyface moment. And I don't think CM Punk is that big babyface moment because he's kind of he's at his best when he's not not a babyface. He's a really good heel. He can kind of play that middle ground too, kind of like Randy Orton does. But I don't think CM Punk can be the guy to beat Roman. Next year, we're looking at maybe The Rock, a heel Rock beating a heel Roman, maybe. I think it's got to be Cody. I think it's got to be Cody, and then Cody wins, and Roman takes his time off, does whatever, and either I don't necessarily want to see this match again, but we could do a thing very similar to this year with night 1, night 2. If we do that again, that we finally get Rock versus Roman on night 1, and the winner of that match goes on to face Cody Rhodes. So, I mean, I might be giving you guys gold, I might not be. You might not like it, oh well. But I think Cody Rhodes got to win. At the end of the night, Cody Rhodes has to walk out of WrestleMania as a champion. Because if not, I don't know how the title's ever getting off Roman Reigns. If not, Roman Reigns legitimately will go on a 5-year run, maybe even longer. And, I mean, great for the history books, but dang, man. Somebody, whoever it is, when he finally drops the title, they're going to reap a big reward. And is that Cody Rhodes? I guess we'll find out Sunday. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and come back for the reviews of WrestleMania Night 1 and 2.